Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back. And in this segment, we'll be looking at the ID Fresh Case Study Part 3. And once again, we'll be having a quick summary, and then we will see a, a, try to understand the various lessons learned uh, from growing a company from a small scale venture into a national and then an international brand, and what type of skills and what type of strategies can be adopted, and is effectuation still relevant or not. So once again, if you look at this gentleman Mustafa, whose father is a coolie, is a loader, and he helps loading of luggage and things like that, and that gentleman makes a 600 crore company. Wow, which approaches 1 billion INR. So a coolie's son who failed in class 6 from a remote village and a poor family used common sense and innovation to find a solution in the batter business, investing with 20,000 rupees with his cousins. Is a 1,000 crore company, 1 billion INR company. Marvelous. And with school dropouts. So some of the key learnings from the case is that vision. So if the vision is noble, if the purpose is noble, timeless, in this case they wanted to serve people. They wanted to, show benevolence and love and blessings. They wanted to give high quality nutrition, full of nutrition and clean, and they wanted to send a message of love and peace. So you see that was the power. And if you look at Simon's next video, the why part. So they were very clear about their why. They wanted to please Almighty the God, and they wanted to follow His guidelines and principles, and they wanted to, and did not want to deviate for a single thing. They did not want to go for any interest or want to do business with which is forbidden. So that is, I think, the driving force, bringing in the why thing coming in. Then we see we have the team, diversified people of team. The founders themselves are diversified. They are cousins. Some of them are brothers, but then they have their one cousin who's an MBA. Then they get employees and team members from various diverse backgrounds. So it's a complementary thing. Number one. Number two, the way they hire people is different than what we hire in the causal mode. In this case, they hired people whom they knew from their bird in hand. Their experiences, they knew their lows and highs, and they knew how could they cope up and what complementary skill they're bringing in. So this is something very interesting. And then the team was grown up, provided opportunities to learn, grow, giving a sense of responsibility. And here then Mustafa brings in systems and processes, process-oriented approach of measuring and like making people, making these sort of bread. So how many breads in 1 hour, how to, the inventory. So all these things followed by inventory management, location, layout, maintenance, and you see line balancing coming in. The marketing part is also very interesting. If you look at the website and the colors, the graphics, the advertisement, social media, strategic thinking. And we will talk about that in a bit later, that what was their strategic thinking. Were they looking for 10, 15 years? Maybe not. So strategic thinking can be even for 1, 2 years, 3 years, and it depends. And if you look at the core competencies, and then you can start building around that. So we will go into detail. First, we'll look at the use of effectuation. Is effectuation still valid and applicable as the firm is growing in gear 3 and 4 or 5? Is it valid and applicable? So what does effectuation talks about? Effectuation says that you need to start with your bird in hand, who you are, what you know, and whom you know. So as you grow from a small and firm to a large, you're scaling up. So same as your bird in hand is growing, you're getting more people. Like Nilgiris coming in this case, the largest retail chain coming in. So as they join hands, Nilgiris, bird in hand becomes their bird in hand. So they're able to access the database, the systems, procedures, the manners, credibility. So you once again, bird in hand is there. So try to find partnerships with those people whose bird in hand can help you. And always take a calculated risk. Never go into uncharted waters without some basic affordable loss capabilities, and they just did that. They remained within their own capacity. And the Quilt principle was to remain open for collaboration, which they were always were, and leverage surprises. They kept on leveraging surprises. Every day they found new opportunities, learning opportunities, understanding customers, manufacturing, designing, and innovation that keeps on coming. So if you look at from the strategy point, which we had in the last slide, that strategy and looking into the future and what to do, and we have a very interesting slide which is adapted from Henry Mintzberg, and that is something very interesting. Henry Mintzberg was a Canadian professor and one of the greatest gurus of strategic management. He says that the top-down approach, so the CEO, and then we have the board of directors within, so the board and the CEO, they decide a top-bottom strategy. This is all things up because they can see the bigger picture, and then they drive the top-down strategy. This is called the intended strategy, where the intentions are, where we want to go. So he says once you go and start pursuing that intended strategy, very soon you figure out that this long-term strategy is not working. Something is happening. And this is why Henry Mintzberg wrote a book called The Rise and Fall of Strategic Planning. And he says in this book that gone are the days for strategic planning. Gone are the days when you make 15, 20, 30-year plans. It's so variable, it's so dynamic, it's so unpredictable, a lot of unknowns. So you can think in an abstract term, but you need to go for a 6 month, 1 year, half year strategy. So rather than looking in 15, 20 years, because things are so unstable and unpredictable and dynamic. So there a lot of things will be happening which will be unrealized, like a failure in Chennai. They got a failure, so that Chennai model didn't work. So they moved, based on that learning, they moved a bit further. And here Henry suggests that bottom-up emergent strategy keeps on coming. So these are a lot of surprises, autonomous actions in the juniors, serendipity, chance, luck, find new resources. So these ideas keep on coming, and that is the bottom-up strategy. So the top-bottom and the bottom-up, when they mix and they meet, then you find new dimensions, new destinations, and you find a new perspective, and this is the realized strategy. So in a way, this is another perspective, and that's exactly, you see, effectuation coming in. Surprises, new bird in hand, lemonades, quilts. So the strategy perspective has changed in these days, and even the strategy professors are forced to accept that we have to be open for surprises and collaboration, and we have to work within calculated risks. So as you move on, let's see a quick overview of the story and see. So in 2005, the cousins started with a 50 square foot kitchen, 7 by 7 feet, that is 49 feet square. Look at the small place, parsimony, creativity. And then they were able to sell their first ever product, and the pride of idli dosa batter production, and then the Hoscott plant, that was the foundation plant in Bangalore, with ultra clean premises, protective gear, sanitizing facilities at every doorway, and bringing you the freshest food. So how, you see, aware they were, safety, health, and environment. So here, this is what exposure and experience which Mustafa brought in, and with those school dropouts. And these dropouts are creative and they're intelligent enough to get the right people on board. And so it was 2008 when Mustafa, you see, joins them as the CEO, and he resigns, and that is the beginning of that. You see, they moved into production of parathas. That is the bread which is oiled, and it became popular, hand rolled and machine pressed. Every paratha packet goes through quality checks. They're concerned about quality. And 12 is an important year when they moved into, you see, they moved into Hyderabad. This is the Hiran Minar. This is the Char Minar, 4 towers. And then this is the building in Bombay, and they hit the products that hit the shelves became instant favorites. And 2013 they go international into Dubai. A heart-warming welcome was done, and that is 2014 they raised 350 million INR from a funding that was from Helion Ventures, and that was at their own terms, interest free, and and that they got a lot of good response. And 2015 saw a new perspective. Their advertisement strategies and marketing strategies became colorful, beautiful. They got in the experts. The media campaigns kicked off, and radio advertisements, and they're now gone digital. 2016, they saw into new territories, Cochin and Coimbatore, and they saw broad Udupi style Italy batter, and a new variety coming in, curd coming in, paneer coming in, forms of cheese coming in, and they were fresh and goodness. So the health, a health kick, and with our ragi idli and dosa batter officially launching the superfood range, and with the Premji investment, they raised another $245 million. So Premji investment, they raised more money, and they wanted to expand, enhance their manufacturing. And 2018 comes launch of the delicious and innovative Vada batter. So Vada batter is like a ketchup bottle, and there's a liquid inside, and you pour that liquid into a frying pan with oil, and you get these donuts-like products, and these are a testament to their constant R&D. So they're spending a lot of time in R&D and innovation resources, and eventually the launch of the organic range. They made a move towards a sustainable goal, the SDGs coming in, and the crop used in making organic range is sourced responsibly, grown in a chemical-free way. Look at this. And I see also made an overseas visit to the US, launching filter coffee there. So look at this remarkable journey. They got various prizes and recognitions, various awards, and amazing story full of, leadership and contribution, benevolence, and love of humanity. And look at there's a quick overview of a quick summary which I left in the beginning, and that was I think somewhere I missed it somewhere. So maybe it's yes, it's here. So if you look at this quick summary, so ethics and values are closely linked to religious faith, acting with benevolence, zero interest, want to prove it is possible to conduct business without taking interest, steadfast to ethics, relationship with God, refuse to sell products in ways where they didn't have where their values were not. They never had an ambition for a luxurious life. Look at this. Sustainable development goals. This is what a very important thing which humanity needs to learn post-COVID, that we have transformed our wants into our needs. So this whole humanity, we all together are spending too much on our wants. And these wants have become our needs. We can't live without that. And that is having a heavy toll on the natural resources of this world. And that is in turn leading to environmental pollution, degradation, and so on. So the whole humanity has to learn that we have to follow our needs and don't go for wants. So this is very interesting learning, and eventually we see that. So looking forward to see you in another episode, and we wish you a great learning ahead, and we pray that these very interesting learnings come into us. Looking forward to see you. Thank you very much.